The Articles of Confederation was the first Constitution of the United States. It basically created a loose confederation of 13 independent states. Uh, the government was led by a Congress. There was no executive, there was no judicial branch. The Congress could pass laws and could make amendments. The achievement of the Articles of Confederation was they actually signed a peace treaty with Great Britain ending the Revolutionary War. They could not collect taxes, but the Congress could borrow money, could call up the militia with the help of the states. Um, the, the articles could not really regulate trade, could not regulate commerce. There were a lot of problems during the time of the Articles of Confederation. States would actually stop trade from going through. They would charge duties or import tariffs on each state to bring in goods. We had Virginia and New York fighting each other. We had Vermont wanting to go to and actually leave and go to Canada. We had a lot of problems with trade. We had a lot of problems with unrest and basically settling disputes. And the government was very, very weak. So at this time, we really did have 13 separate countries that were loosely aligned as like the United States. And it was a friendship. But when we look at the Articles of Confederation, they were a failure. It was a very, very weak government, and it had a lot of problems with it. So the Constitution was created based on the problems like Shays' Rebellion and interstate trade and the ability to solve issues and problems. So the Constitution was basically created to solve the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation. But the Articles of Confederation was our first constitution. It got us basically through the Revolutionary War and 6 years after that, and it started the United States off on our history, and it is our first constitution. So make sure you know the weaknesses, make sure you know the structure of the Articles of Confederation, the government at that time, and know that there was no executive, there was no judicial. If you needed to pass a law, pass an amendment to change the articles, you had to have all 13 states agree. And if you were even passing a law, you needed a majority of the states to pass a law. There was one vote per state, and it was very difficult to get things done. And of course, not being able to tax made raising money and raising an army and doing those things very difficult. So make sure you understand the articles and the problems with it. So when we learn about the Constitution, we can learn why we did the things we did to make sure that we could improve our government.